Englishly podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Speaking. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. Thanks for joining us today.
Can you believe it? We're in the last week of December already. Time really flies, doesn't it?
It honestly does. Feels like January was just yesterday. We hope you're wrapping up your year on a good note, hopefully surrounded by the people you care about.
Exactly. Whether you're relaxing at home, traveling, or maybe even working through the holidays, we hope things are going well for you.
Now, before we jump into today's topic, we actually wanted to share something we've been thinking about lately.
Right. So, we've been considering building a community around this podcast, a space where you all can connect, share your thoughts, and practice your English together.
We're thinking about creating a platform where we could share newsletters, activities, maybe some extra content that doesn't make it into the episodes. Things that could help you keep improving between episodes.
But here's the thing. We want to know what you think. Would that be something you'd actually use? Would you be interested in joining a community like that?
Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Your feedback matters to us.
All right, now let's get into today's episode. We have two special guests with us, Matthew and Rachel.
They're going to walk us through something pretty practical, how to describe your daily routine. But not just any routine.
Nope. They'll be talking about vacation routines. You know, those days when everything changes. When your alarm doesn't go off at 7 a.m. and breakfast might happen at noon.
It's a completely different rhythm, isn't it? And honestly, describing it in English can be tricky. So, here's a question for you all listening right now. Would you know how to describe your vacation routine in English?
All right, listeners, let's get into today's topic.
Hey everyone, great to be here. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Rachel. Thanks for having us on the show.
So, vacation routines. They're quite something, aren't they?
Oh, completely different from what we do the rest of the year. During a normal week, I'm up at 6:30, rushing to get ready, checking emails before I've even had breakfast. But on vacation, that all goes out the window.
Same here. My regular routine is pretty rigid. Alarm at 7, gym by 8, at my desk by 9. But when I'm on holiday, none of that applies. It's like living in a different time zone, even if I haven't actually traveled anywhere.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes it special, right? The freedom to just not follow a schedule.
Absolutely. So before we dive into our actual routines, there are a few expressions we'll be using today that might be new to some of you. Words like sleep in, lie around, doze off, things like that. Pay attention to how we use them in context, and you'll get a feel for what they mean.
Right. So let's start with mornings. Matthew, what does a typical vacation morning look like for you?
Well, the first thing that's different is that I actually sleep in, and I mean properly sleep in, not just an extra half hour. We're talking 9, sometimes 10 o'clock. There's no alarm, no responsibilities pulling me out of bed. I just wake up naturally whenever my body decides it's had enough rest.
That sounds amazing. I'm the same way. I love being able to have a lie-in without feeling guilty about it. During the work week, if I'm still in bed past 8, I feel like I'm wasting the day. But on vacation, it's part of the experience.
Totally. And even after I wake up, I don't rush to get up. I'll just lie around for a while, checking my phone, maybe scrolling through social media or reading something light. There's no pressure to actually start the day.
Yes, that's one of my favorite parts. I'll stay in bed with a book or sometimes just stare out the window if I'm somewhere with a nice view. Last summer, I was at a beach house and I'd spend at least an hour every morning just lounging about in bed and listening to the waves. It was incredibly peaceful.
That sounds perfect. For me, it's usually at home, so no ocean views, unfortunately. But I do the same thing, just taking my time, not thinking about what needs to get done. Sometimes I'll even doze off again for 20 minutes or so. You know, that light kind of sleep where you're half awake, half dreaming?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's the best kind of nap because you're so relaxed. I'll do that too, especially if I stayed up late the night before watching movies or chatting with family.
Right. And then when I finally do get out of bed, which might be 10:30 or even 11, I don't jump straight into getting dressed or anything productive. I'll lounge about in my pajamas for a while, maybe make some coffee and just sit on the couch.
Same. I think that's the real luxury of vacation mornings. It's not just about sleeping longer, it's about moving slower through everything. I'll make breakfast, but it's not a quick bowl of cereal. I'll actually cook something. Pancakes, eggs, maybe some fruit, and I'll eat it slowly without checking the time every 5 minutes.
Exactly. Breakfast becomes this whole event rather than something you rush through. I'll put on some music, sit outside if the weather's nice, and just enjoy the food without thinking about what's next on my to-do list.
And there's no guilt about it either. That's what I love. During a regular week, if I'm sitting around in my pajamas at noon, I feel like I should be doing something. But on vacation, that's literally the point, to not do anything unless you want to.
Yeah, it's about giving yourself permission to slow down. I think a lot of people struggle with that at first, especially if they're used to being busy all the time. But once you get into the rhythm of it, it's wonderful.
It really is. And honestly, those slow mornings set the tone for the whole day. When you start your day without stress, everything else feels more relaxed too.
Absolutely. So that's our vacation morning routine, or lack thereof, really. It's all about sleeping in, taking your time, and not feeling rushed to get anywhere or do anything.
And if you doze off again halfway through the morning, even better.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, so we've covered mornings. Now let's talk about afternoons, which is when vacation days actually start to get a bit more eventful.
Yeah, afternoons are interesting because you've had this super relaxed morning, and then you have to decide, do I keep this energy going or do I actually do something?
Right. And I think that's where vacation afternoons differ so much from regular afternoons. During the week, your afternoon is planned out. Meetings, tasks, errands you need to run. But on vacation, it's completely open. You could do everything or absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Some days I'll stay in that relaxed mode and just watch series for hours. I'll finish an entire season of something in one sitting. No judgment, no guilt, just pure entertainment.
Oh, I do that too. Last December, I think I watched 3 seasons of a show over like 5 days. I'd just be on the couch with snacks, completely absorbed. And the best part? No one's asking you to do anything else.
It's liberating, honestly. But then other days, I'll get this sudden burst of energy around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I'll think I should actually leave the house.
Yes, that happens to me all the time. I'll be perfectly content at home, and then I'll suddenly feel like I need to get out, even if I don't have anywhere specific to go.
And that's when I end up doing things like window shopping. I'll go into town, walk around the shops, not really planning to buy anything, just looking. It's a nice way to spend an afternoon without any pressure.
I love window shopping on vacation. It's so different from regular shopping because you're not on a mission. You're not thinking, I need to find a birthday present or I need new shoes for work. You're just browsing, enjoying the experience.
Exactly. And sometimes you stumble upon something interesting that you wouldn't have found if you were in a rush. I found this amazing little bookshop last summer just because I was wandering around with nothing particular to do.
Oh, bookshops are dangerous when you have time to kill. I can spend hours in there. But yeah, afternoons on vacation have this spontaneous quality to them. Like friends might drop by unexpectedly and suddenly your quiet afternoon turns into a coffee catch-up that lasts 3 hours.
That's so true. I had that happen just this past holiday season, actually. A friend texted me saying she was in the area, asking if she could drop by for a quick chat. I said sure, thinking she'd stay for maybe 30 minutes.
Let me guess, she stayed way longer?
4 hours. We ended up ordering food, watching part of a movie, and completely losing track of time. But that's the beauty of vacation, right? You can let those moments happen without worrying about what you're supposed to be doing next.
Absolutely. During a normal week, if someone wants to drop by, you're mentally calculating whether you have time, if you need to get back to work, if you have other commitments. But on vacation, it's just, yes, come over.
Yeah, and those impromptu hangouts are often the most memorable parts of the holiday. They're not planned or structured, they just happen naturally.
They really are. Some of my best vacation memories are from those random afternoons where plans changed at the last minute. Actually, speaking of that, I have to tell you about what happened to me 2 years ago during Christmas break.
Oh, this sounds good. Go on.
Okay, so I was staying at my parents' place and I had absolutely nothing planned for this particular afternoon. I was in full vacation mode, had barely left the house in 3 days, was still in comfortable clothes, hair in a messy bun, you know the look.
The classic vacation look, I know it well.
Exactly. So my mom asks me to run to the grocery store to pick up a few things. Simple enough, right? I throw on a jacket, don't even bother changing out of my sweatpants, and head out. Now, the store is only 10 minutes away, so I'm thinking this is a quick in and out situation.
But it wasn't.
Not even close. So I get to the store, grab what my mom needs, and I'm walking toward the checkout when I see this huge crowd gathered near the front entrance. And I'm curious, so I go to see what's happening.
What was it?
They were doing some kind of holiday promotion thing. There was a local radio station set up, giving away prizes, playing music, the whole deal. And I'm standing there watching, just mildly entertained, when suddenly the host points at me and says, "You, come up here."
No way.
I swear. I tried to back away, but people started pushing me forward, and before I knew it, I was on this makeshift stage in front of like 50 people wearing sweatpants and an old university hoodie, looking absolutely terrible.
Oh no, what did they make you do?
They wanted me to participate in this Christmas trivia game, and the prize was actually pretty good. A gift card worth a decent amount of money, so I figured, why not? I'm already up here looking ridiculous, might as well try to win something.
How did you do?
Well, the first few questions were easy. You know, what color is Rudolph's nose? How many reindeer does Santa have? That kind of thing. But then they started asking these really specific questions about Christmas songs and movies, and I was genuinely struggling.
Were people watching?
Oh, yeah. And my phone kept buzzing because my mom was texting me asking where I was with the groceries. I'm trying to answer trivia questions while also secretly checking my phone, and the host noticed and made a joke about it, which made everyone laugh. I was mortified.
But did you win?
That's the crazy part. I actually did. The final question was about Home Alone, which I've seen probably 20 times, so I got it immediately. Everyone cheered, they gave me this giant gift card, and I basically ran out of there as fast as I could.
That's amazing. Did your mom believe you when you explained why you took so long?
Not at first. I walked in with the groceries and this gift card trying to explain what happened, and she thought I was making it up. I had to show her pictures that random people had posted on social media. Someone had filmed the whole thing and put it online.
Oh no, there's evidence.
Unfortunately, yes. My friends found it and sent it to me. I looked so confused and unprepared up there. But honestly, it's one of those things that could only happen on vacation. Any other time of year, I would have been too busy to even stop and watch, let alone participate.
That's such a good point. Vacation afternoons have this quality where you're open to random experiences because you're not rushing anywhere. You have time to say yes to things.
Exactly. And now, whenever I think about that Christmas break, that's the first thing I remember. Not the days I spent lounging around at home, but that random afternoon at the grocery store.
Those are the stories you end up telling for years. I think that's what makes vacation afternoons special. They have this potential for surprise that regular afternoons just don't have.
Completely agree. Whether it's friends dropping by unexpectedly, stumbling into something random while you're out, or just having the freedom to waste an entire afternoon doing something pointless, it all counts.
And there's no wrong way to spend a vacation afternoon, really. Whether you're being productive or completely lazy, it's all part of the experience.
So that brings us to evenings, which I think have a completely different feel during vacation, especially this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. There's something about vacation evenings that just feels, I don't know, warmer somehow, more comfortable.
Cozy, that's the word. Everything feels cozy. The lighting is softer, you're not rushing through dinner to get back to work emails, and there's this general sense that the day is yours to finish however you want.
Yeah, cozy's perfect. For me, vacation evenings usually start around 6 or 7 when it's already dark outside. I'll turn on some lamps instead of the overhead lights, nothing too bright, and that immediately changes the atmosphere. Feels more intimate, more relaxed.
I do the same thing. Lighting makes such a difference. During regular weeks, I have all the lights on because I'm trying to stay alert, stay productive. But on vacation, I want everything dim and warm. Sometimes I'll even light a few candles, especially during the holiday season.
Candles are great. They add to that whole festive feeling, don't they? Speaking of which, this time of year, evenings have this extra layer of, I want to say magic, but that sounds cheesy.
No, I get it. It's not cheesy. There's definitely something special about late December evenings. The streets outside are usually pretty bustling with people doing last-minute shopping or heading to parties. You can hear the energy even from inside your home.
Exactly. Even if you're not going out yourself, you're aware that something's happening. The world feels alive in a different way. I live near a main street, so I'll often hear groups of people walking by, laughing, talking loudly. It's nice background noise.
It is, though sometimes I find it a bit overwhelming if I've been inside all day. Like, I'm in my quiet, cozy bubble, and then I'm reminded that everyone else is out there being social and festive. It can make you feel a little disconnected, maybe?
I know what you mean. There's this weird balance between wanting to be part of the holiday energy and also wanting to just stay in your comfortable space. I think that's pretty normal, though, especially at the end of the year when you're feeling a bit worn out from everything.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, most evenings I choose the comfortable space option. I'll make dinner, but it's not a quick meal. On vacation, I actually enjoy cooking. I'll try recipes I've been saving, take my time chopping vegetables, play some music in the background.
That's one of the best parts of vacation evenings, having time to cook properly. During the week, dinner is so functional, it's just fuel. But on holiday, it becomes an experience. I made this elaborate pasta dish last week that took me almost 2 hours to prepare, and normally I'd never have the patience for that.
2 hours? What were you making?
It was this homemade ravioli situation. I made the pasta from scratch, prepared the filling, the whole thing. And honestly, the process was almost as enjoyable as eating it. There's something meditative about cooking when you're not watching the clock.
That sounds amazing. I'm not quite at the homemade pasta level yet, but I love taking my time with dinner on vacation. And then, after eating, instead of immediately cleaning up and moving on to the next thing, I'll just sit at the table for a while. Maybe have another glass of wine, maybe just sit there feeling full and content.
Yes, that lingering at the table thing. That's pure vacation behavior. No one does that on a Tuesday night in October.
Never. But during the holidays, it feels right. Everything moves slower. And then after dinner, I'll usually settle into the living room. This is when the evening really becomes about relaxation. I'll put on a movie or a show, get under a blanket, maybe make some tea.
The blanket is essential. I have this one blanket that only comes out during vacation time. It's ridiculously soft and warm, and the moment I wrap myself in it, my brain registers, okay, we're in full relaxation mode now.
I love that you have a designated vacation blanket, but I totally understand the psychology of it. It's like a signal to yourself that you're allowed to completely unwind. For me, it's not a blanket. It's these specific pajamas I only wear during the holidays. They're covered in snowflakes and probably look ridiculous, but they make me happy.
That's not ridiculous at all. I think we all have those little things that make the holiday season feel special. For me, it's also the shows and movies I watch. There are certain things I only watch during vacation, usually nostalgic stuff from when I was younger.
Oh, I'm very nostalgic during this time of year. I'll rewatch movies I've seen 100 times just because they feel right for the season. It's comforting, you know? There's something about revisiting familiar things when the year is ending.
It is comforting. I think there's a lot of reflection that happens in these quiet evenings. You're looking back at the year, thinking about what happened, what changed. Sometimes it hits you out of nowhere. You're sitting there watching TV, and suddenly you're thinking about everything that's happened in the past 12 months.
That happens to me all the time. I'll be perfectly relaxed, and then I'll get hit with this wave of, I don't know if it's sadness exactly, but something close to it. Maybe melancholy? Just this awareness that time is passing.
Yeah, there's definitely a bittersweet quality to these final days of the year. You're grateful for the break, grateful for the time to rest, but also aware that it's temporary. Soon you'll be back to the regular routine.
Exactly. Though, honestly, I try not to think too much about going back. When I catch myself doing that, I consciously redirect my attention to the present moment. Like, I'll focus on how comfortable I am right now, how good this tea tastes, how much I'm enjoying this show.
That's a healthy approach. Being present is hard, but it's especially important during vacation, when you have so little time to actually relax. I do something similar. I'll look around my living room and just appreciate the peaceful atmosphere, the warm lighting, the quiet, the fact that I have nowhere to be.
Those moments of appreciation are really valuable. Sometimes I'll just sit there feeling incredibly grateful for simple things: a good meal, a warm home, the freedom to spend my evening however I want. It sounds basic, but when you're caught up in the busy season all year, you forget how nice the basics can be.
Absolutely. And I think that's what vacation evenings teach us in a way. They remind us that we don't need to be constantly productive or entertained to feel fulfilled. Sometimes the best evening is one where nothing remarkable happens. You just exist comfortably in your space.
Well said. Though I will say some evenings do get a bit more social. If it's the holiday season, there are usually some gatherings or parties happening. Last week, I went to a friend's place for a festive dinner party, and it was lovely, but also kind of exhausting.
Festive gatherings are always a mix, aren't they? They're fun and warm and full of good energy, but they also require a level of social effort that feels foreign when you've been in vacation mode for days.
Exactly. I enjoyed myself, but by the end of the night, I was so ready to get back to my quiet apartment. I think I appreciated my cozy evenings even more after that experience.
That makes sense. It's all about balance. Some evenings out, most evenings in. And as we get closer to the actual end of the year, I find myself wanting more of those quiet nights. Maybe it's the nostalgic pull of reflecting on everything, or maybe I'm just tired.
Probably both. The end of the year has this heavy quality to it, doesn't it? Like you're carrying all these memories and experiences from the past 12 months, and you're processing them in these quiet moments.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Heavy, but not in a bad way. More like significant. These evenings feel significant, even when you're just sitting on the couch doing nothing.
They really do. And I think that's the beauty of vacation evenings during this time of year. They give you space to feel whatever you need to feel, whether that's joy, nostalgia, gratitude, or even a bit of sadness about time passing. It's all valid.
Completely agree. And eventually you get tired enough that you just head to bed. Usually later than you would during a normal week, but not too late. You're still taking care of yourself, just on a more relaxed schedule.
Right. I'll usually read for a bit before falling asleep, something light and easy, and then that's it. Another vacation day done. Nothing dramatic, nothing stressful, just a peaceful evening that ended exactly how it should have.
All right. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick summary of what we covered today.
Good idea. So we walked through a typical vacation day, focusing on how routines completely shift when you're on holiday.
we introduced several key expressions that are really useful for describing these more relaxed days. In the morning section, we talked about sleeping in, staying in bed later than usual. We also mentioned having a lie-in, which is similar, just staying in bed even after you've woken up.
Right. And we used lie around to describe just lounging in bed or on the couch without doing anything productive. There was also doze off, that light kind of sleep where you drift off for a bit, usually unintentionally.
And lounge about, which is spending time being completely relaxed, maybe in your pajamas, not really doing much of anything.
Then, in the afternoon, we covered drop by, when someone visits informally without much planning, and window shopping, which is browsing shops without actually intending to buy anything.
Exactly. And in the evening section, we focused more on descriptive words. Cozy was a big one, that warm, comfortable feeling. Bustling described the energy of streets and crowds during the holiday season.
We also used festive for that celebratory holiday atmosphere, overwhelmed for feeling a bit exhausted by all the social energy, and nostalgic for that reflective, sentimental feeling you get when thinking about the past.
So that's 7 expressions and 5 descriptive adjectives total. If you caught all of those in context, you're doing great.
And if you missed some, that's completely fine. Go back and listen again. Pay attention to how we use them naturally in our descriptions.
Well, I think that's everything we wanted to cover today. Thanks for sticking with us through the whole episode.
Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time to listen. If you enjoyed today's conversation and found it helpful, we'd love it if you could leave us a like or subscribe to the podcast.
It genuinely helps us reach more people who are learning English, and it lets us know that this content is useful for you.
And don't forget, Max and Mia mentioned at the beginning that they're thinking about creating a community space. If that's something you'd be interested in, let them know in the comments. Your feedback really does matter.
Absolutely. Now, we're recording this during the final days of the year, so we want to take a moment to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Yes, we hope 2025 brings you good things, whether that's progress with your English, new opportunities, or just more peaceful vacation days like the ones we described today.
However you're spending these last few days of December, we hope you're finding time to rest and recharge. You've made it through another year, and that's worth acknowledging.
It really is. Take care of yourselves, enjoy the break if you have one, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks again for listening. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year!